everyone. So in this video I'm going to do a bit of a get ready with me with some stuff that was already in my stash, stuff that I bought recently, just some things that I wanted to try. And this is me making smart content because I need to film another video, so I'm going to do this and that at the same time, thus making better use of my time. So I have stuff around me. I will apologise in advance for cars in the street, noise in the house, because it's just I can't get any peace, really. So we'll just go with it. I've already done skincare and moisturised, but I don't have any base on. And so I'm going to use my tried and trusty. I can't find the brush. I picked up a brush and I now can't find it, and I don't know how that is even possible. Oh, because it's staring me in the face. Tried and trusty It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC+. This guy, you can see how well used that is because there's hardly any left. And I'm going to be using as a mirror this compact, which has made me really annoyed because this was not an inexpensive product. A couple of years ago, granted, but the mirror's fallen out, so that's nice. And doesn't seem to want to stick back in, but I'm going to use, I'm not going to use that because that's reflective too. Okay, this is fun. So it's the thing about filming when you don't have you're not sat at a vanity to do it, and I don't have a vanity to sit at, is the lack of mirror, because the mirror that I have is it's one like this, but it's reflective both sides, so if I hold it up like that, it's just going to blind you with the light. That won't work. Maybe that's something I need to look at. Okay, I'm going to use this because this compact, I believe, has a mirror in it. It shouldn't be reflective, and it's to hand. Thank you, Tarte, for the Man-Eater palette, let's say that. It is actually a really nice palette, and it smells good. It smells kind of vaguely chocolatey. So, do I want to do base first? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to do eyes first. And I'm going old school, so this is something I rebought recently and haven't used in forever, but I am going hardcore old school. MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which I think it was one of the very first, I'm just getting a baby wipe, it was one of the very first products I ever bought from MAC. I think my first ever thing was I bought a lipstick that I don't remember the shade of, and I bought the Select SPF foundation, were my first two first ever MAC products. But this was definitely one of the early ones as well, and it's a really good base. I sort of just forgot about it. I tend to apply a lot of makeup with my fingers just because I find it easier, and because I'm not a professional, and because who cares, really? You aren't watching this video because you're looking for a makeup tutorial. If you are, I'm sorry, you're very lost. And there are a great many wonderful creators on this platform who make amazing beauty content. I am not that girl. I am just trying to get some use out of a bunch of makeup that I keep on buying. So eye base done first. I'm going to use a new eyeshadow palette that I bought because I thought it was pretty. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Love Palette. So there was a full-size Love palette, and then there's this. Please excuse my fingernails. This has just come out, and it's just a mini palette with 5 of the shades. I have a couple of these, and I actually really like them. I don't necessarily think, if you look at the price point of these compared to the bigger ones, that you could call them affordable. These are £22. Some of the bigger palettes, depending on which ones, some are 60 and then some go 100 plus. Nonetheless, I have this. And once again, for a good amount of what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do it with my fingers. So I'm going to use this shade here, which you can see on my finger there, which is called, if it matters, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 True. So the shades are named You Are My True Love, so it goes across that way, so You Are My True Love. So this is the shade True, which I'm going to put probably mostly underneath my brow bone. Oh, that is a bit glowy for a brow highlight, but we've started the process. So this is what we're going with. It's a really lovely colour. This is the kind of colour that I would just bung on all over with a bit of mascara on a really lazy day. It's really pretty. But yeah, so that's what that is. Oops. It's probably a bit much for me for there, but we've done it now. So I just thought that as I'm filming, I'm trying to do a video every week. That's the goal for this year. And so I have to get ready to make the video. And so why I don't get ready on camera has never really made much sense to me, as it's something that I could easily do and could easily share. And so here I am. And this sort of also is, I guess it's a bit like a haul, but also not an actual haul. So it's, you know, it's sort of on brand for me. I'm using that, where am I lined up here? The viewfinder wants to keep following my face, so there's lines all over the screen. It's the light purpley colour. And we're going to see what this does. This could be a mistake. Oh no. No, it's okay. Not a problem. That's actually very pretty. Oh, you can't really see because I'm not zoomed in, and I'm not going to zoom in because that's not, like I said, it's not really the point of this. Yeah, okay. That. I had worries that it was going to make me look a little bit bruised because it's that kind of purpley colour, but it didn't do that, so I'm grateful. So, sort of general question that you can answer in the comments if you'd like to. How are you? I'm alright. I'm sort of, it's good days and bad days, and it's, you know, tired of the pandemic and just accepting of my fate, because it just is what it is, and it'll be what it is until, you know, we've found a way to control it, right? I actually ended up unfollowing somebody who I'd followed for kind of a long time, not in the beauty space, in the video game space actually, who I'd followed for a while, and who put a video out earlier in the week. And you know when you just watch something and you're watching a person talk and you just find yourself thinking, are you fucking serious? And now what I will say, while I try and find a brush, what I will say is that he was American, and I realised that he does not speak for all Americans, for a start, but also that the viewpoint and how this whole pandemic has been handled has been very different there than here. I'm going to use this colour. But it just got me, you know, when you hear someone talk and you just think, did you have to go to school to learn to be that selfish, or was it just like God-given talent? Because he was effectively saying that this virus is never going to go away, which is possibly true, like the flu virus. But, you know, it's ridiculous that we're closing down society, and his argument, which I sort of understand the logic of, but that is fundamentally flawed because how do you implement it, was that, well, it should be a case that if vulnerable people want to stay at home and stay sheltered, they can, but the rest of society should be able to open back up. And it was just like, motherfucker, you haven't thought about this, have you? You haven't actually considered this in any degree of depth, because, okay, let's say, purpley colour, let's say that, just for shits and giggles, let's say that, as you said in your stream, if grandma wants to stay at home to stay safe, she should be able to do that, and we'll just have Zoom calls with grandma. Okay, so you're just gonna leave her, basically. Just leave her there. Just let her just stay home by herself. And then what about people who work in a care capacity, right? So let's talk about people who work, let's say, in a care home, taking care of people who are elderly or vulnerable and therefore, you know, might not want to go out. What happens to them? Are we saying that actually, well, no, because you've chosen this incredibly selfless career that a great many of us couldn't actually do, because God knows I couldn't do it. I honestly, it amazes me, the people who do those kind of jobs. I just think it's such incredible work, and I'm just such a melt that I just don't think I could do it. But okay, let's say, alright, the rule is then we're not letting any old people in care homes, like they should just isolate because they're old and they're at risk, right? What do you do about the carers? So the people who are taking care of them. What do you do about them? Because they present a risk going to and from, based in this world where we're saying fuck everybody who might catch it, and everybody else just be able to carry on. So, you know, let's say you're a carer and you have kids. How are you supposed to deal with this? Like, how do you go to work? And it was just, I think what got me, so, oh shit. Apologies for the rage on this, but it just, like, we're so far into this now, it just pisses me off. Dior waterproof eyeliner pencil in Trinidad Black. What pisses me off about it is it's like, I thought he was smarter than that. Like, I honestly did. Like, he seemed like a reasonably intelligent sort of a dude. Like, he seemed like a reasonably compassionate sort of a dude. And now what he was sort of saying is, well, this is an inconvenience to me now. Like, I've had enough now. This isn't, it was almost, it's not fair. Fuck off. Get in the sea. And what I will say, it's done. And I don't know how many of you who watch me are, I think probably a good chunk of you are UK based versus US based, but I do have some people who are based in the US. I don't know how many of you who are UK based have US friends or family, but holy shit, it makes me grateful for the NHS. It makes me grateful for the NHS. It makes me grateful for a government that have not been perfect, let's say that. That's very, very clear to all involved, but also they're trying to fix it, you know. They're trying to do the right thing. There's a structured vaccine rollout. There's, you know, there's shit in place to try and make this go away. And it just doesn't seem to be the case so much in the US. So yeah, it just pissed me off because it just, that particular video, it just seemed outrageously selfish. And it was all of the stuff of like, well, yeah, but you can't trust the death records because, you know, like, somebody commented in the stream, like, I had a buddy who had brain cancer and then he got, and I have to do it in the bro voice. I don't know why I have to do it in that voice, because that's basically the voice of how people who are really fucking stupid sound to me. Yeah, my friend brain cancer and then he got COVID and then it was the brain cancer that killed him, but they still put COVID on the death certificate. Well, yeah, because that sort of serious respiratory condition will have expedited his death, no doubt. But yeah, no, it was nothing to do with the COVID. Absolutely nothing to do with the COVID. Are you, like... This is me applying It's CC cream with my fingers very haphazardly. So yeah, it just made me mad, and it made me mad to the point that it was like, it was probably the second or third video that this guy had put out, not specific to COVID, I will say that, but where I just went, oh, like, I'm cool with people having a different political opinion, and I'm actually cool having conversations with people with whom I have different political opinions, because it's how you learn, right? It's how you make informed decisions rather than just believing everything you're told. You read and you learn, and that's a whole thing, right? And there was some degree to which, like, cool, you just think something different. But you know when it gets to the point that you just think, is this that you think something different? Or are you just like, is it almost propaganda? Like, are you just trying to, like, start some kind of upright? Like, what the fuck, man? You are supposed to be smarter than this. And also, the real fucking kicker in that situation, I'm going to put a warning on this video about how much I'm swearing. I should really do that. The real kicker for me was, it's just like, dude, you're in Texas. Shit's still open. Like, you can just go and do whatever the merry fuck it is that you want to do. It's not like here where we're, you know, we're under like a government mandated lockdown and there's no choice. You have the choice. So if you want to be a selfish arsehole, your government is broadly allowing you the privilege of being a fucking selfish arsehole. Like, rock on, dude. So yeah, so that led me to an unsubscribe, which I don't do often. You know, I'm not a big unsubscriber. Like, I'm not a thumbs downer. I don't thumbs down videos. I don't leave like shitty comments if I don't agree with something, because I'm not an arsehole. If you watch something and you don't enjoy it, don't leave a thumbs down, just don't watch anymore. Like, it's such a straightforward thing. So yeah, so there was that. That was kind of a shame, because I thought he knew better. And I think, like, I don't know whether anybody that watches me, because it's such a small audience anyway, I don't know whether anybody that watches me is likely to have a different opinion. You're welcome to it, but I control the comments here, so, you know. But yeah, it just sort of, we're so far into it at this point that it's just like, are you really serious? So, next thing, I got this week, this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. Astonishingly, I am shade 170 in this, which might be like the darkest shade number I've ever been in anything. It is a powder. It smells weird. I can tell you that right now. I initially thought that it was like the sponge. The sponge also smells weird, but it's the product. It has like a weird, like an almost plasticky kind of smell, which I don't enjoy. I have tested this. I tried it on bare skin that was basically not prepped properly, and it caught on every single bit of dry skin on my face. So I thought that I would try it with a powder brush over a foundation that's on a skin that's been well moisturized, and we'll see what it does. So I don't really know how it's going to look, whether it's going to look a bit heavy and a bit cakey, whether it's going to smell weird and I'm going to hate it. I don't know. It does smell weird. Like, it almost smells weird enough that I probably don't want to use it. But yeah. So that happened. So there was that. That was a little change in media, and that's actually been my sort of second change of media content throughout the lockdown, because I was following. So I watch a lot of different things, right? So I'm a variety viewer. Are we happy with that? Yeah, I'll do. Blush. I'm gonna go old school, and this compact is broken, as I said at the beginning, but I'm gonna. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do bronzer first. For funsies. Where did you go, bronzer? Is this the high level professional content that you come to me for? Am I providing that? There we go. Bronzer. This is the It Sunshine in a Compact bronzer. Fun little fact, of all of my videos on this channel that get like repeat comments, all of them, the one that I get the most repeat comments on, like people watching a video from 1,000 years ago, is the video I did on the I'll link it in the ball thing. Ball thing, is that what it is? Yeah, the thing in the corner. I'll link it. Is the video on the It Cosmetics bronzer and highlight that came in the same compact with the stupid brush. Man, I've had people tell me that my reviews are bad, that I've used the product wrong, that I was using the brush wrong, and it's like, I mean, okay, maybe I was using the brush wrong, but is there a way to use a brush in such a way that it makes a product not orange? If there is and you know about it, leave me a comment below. I would love to know that, but I don't believe that there is. I think if a bronzer is orange, it's orange. Blush I am using, this is Chanel Jus Contraste, shade 84 Accent, or Accent if we're going to be French. This is a really lovely blush, and I don't wear it that often because I just sort of forget about it. Like, I'm not a big Chanel beauty fan, not a big Chanel anything fan, to be totally honest. But I got this one because somebody on YouTube some years ago said it was a good colour, and so that was it. I was hooked. It is a good colour. And that's given me a lot more cheek than I had anticipated I might go with today. But never mind. I'm gonna spritz because I have powder on, and I'm probably gonna make the ugliest face in the whole world, so brace yourself for that. But oh, maybe not. It was a bit excessive, but I'm actually really liking this. I don't like it. It's got in my hair as well. Lovely hair with roots that needs doing. I don't like it quite as much as the Morphe. I love that Morphe continuous mist setting spray, whatever it's called. I love that. That's my favourite setting spray. But this one's nice. I would like it better if it didn't do that to my hair though. Anyway, so I've now completely forgotten what I was talking about. So I was ranting about people saying stupid things about COVID, and I was talking about people leaving stupid comments on my video about like IT Cosmetics products. Yeah. But yes, and I started to say about how it wasn't my first change in content. Yeah, so I watch a bunch of different kinds of content. I watch a bit of beauty, less beauty now actually than it ever was before. Bit of beauty, lots of food, big food watcher. Generally some like lifestyle type content. And then a bunch of gaming, because I absolutely love computer games. I have very little coordination for them, and so the least frustrating way for me to see a game is to watch somebody else play it. And so there are a bunch of channels that I watch, and there was one that was part of a much bigger kind of media conglomerate, called Rooster Teeth. And I used to watch Achievement Hunter, who were like a division of there, and they were a great like bunch of people, and they made all kinds of different gaming content and some non-gaming content as well, and I really loved them. They sort of felt like, because it was a bunch of different people, I feel like I have hair stuck to me, you just sort of got to know people, and it just felt familiar, for want of a better word. And then back in like October, it turned out mascara, this is the new Lancome Idole, which I like a lot. Back in October, it turned out that one of them, who was actually my favourite one, no less, had been not only cheating on his wife, but basically massively abusing his position of power, as much power as you have as an internet celebrity, I suppose, and using it to like coerce girls who were, well, not all of them, but some of them appeared to have some mental health issues, probably some like long-seated like daddy issues and stuff. But he very much appeared to have a type, which was, I mean, I'm assuming, an easy victim, you know? Like, you could sort of see these, like, sociopathic tendencies of, like, oh, okay, so what you did was you picked a girl who told you that she'd had issues with X, Y, and Z, and you fed her ego a little bit, and you made her feel special because she was talking to somebody, in air quotes, famous. And then you convinced her to meet you at a hotel when you were at a convention, and you slept with her. And then there was some other stuff that I'm not going to go into the details of, but let's just say he's a pretty disgusting human being. Let's say that. Well, and this is before we even factor in the fact that, you know, he's married and a couple of kids and, you know, all that jazz. But yeah, so it was sort of, some of it was leaning like statutory rapey, but that sort of depends on state. And statute of limitations and all of that stuff. But they fired him. It all kind of came out because he'd stupidly sent nudes to someone, well, to multiple people, multiples of these girls, and I don't know, he got caught in a gay catfishing scam, or like, you know, expose with another person who worked for another division of Rooster Teeth, who I can only assume was thanking his lucky stars that it all happened at the same time, because comparatively what he did was nowhere near as bad. It was still bad, but yeah, they both got the boot, and it was just like, oh man, you were my favourite one of them. I didn't realise you were like some kind of fucking monster. And apparently none of his co-workers did either, although it is one of those things where you find yourself thinking, really? Really? You had no idea, no inkling. So yeah, so that sort of, what sort of ended up happening is it just put me off all of the content, so it just meant that I stopped watching that channel altogether, because it was just like, oh, it's not really the same, and I don't wanna. So I sort of lost that, and that was like a big chunk of the content that I was watching, and I don't know what the upshot is on all of this. Like, I don't know if he's being charged or what. I don't know. I don't know what will happen. But yeah, it was kind of sucky to lose that, especially throughout the early part of lockdown. Watching their content had been like a really nice thing to have, but never mind. But it was something that happened. I have two, I'm going to do brows. Two brow products here. These are both from P. Louise. I have the Oh So Browtiful pencil in Hazelnut Latte, and then I have another thing, and I got these in a kit before Christmas. I'm really looking forward to when beauty opens up again, getting my eyebrows done, getting my nails done because my nails are disgusting, getting my hair done so my roots aren't this colour. I'm looking forward to not feeling like a trash cat, which will hopefully be soon, because I just feel really ropey, and I'm sorry if you can hear people talking outside. The other people who live in this house do not have any volume control, so they just don't give a fuck that anybody might be doing something. She says, trying to remain calm. So yes, anyway. What was I saying? So content that's changed. So yeah, so people I've stopped watching, and then there's other people who I've kind of started watching a bit more often, and people who I always watched but I didn't watch as much, and now I've gone back to big time, like for gaming, the guys over at Game Attack, who are just fucking awesome. Like they're such a great bunch of gamers. They're kind of variety streamers, so they stream a bunch of different games. They're funny, they're sweet, like it's just a great channel to watch, and I'll tend to have that on in the background while I'm doing other stuff, just because it's just nice to have. So yeah, I'm a big fan of theirs. And then otherwise I'm just watching a bunch of food stuff, which is really bad because all I'm actually doing other than watching YouTube is eating. So it's sort of a dangerous spiral. I always feel like this brow is too dark for me, and I don't think it is. I think it's just that I don't tend to do brows very often. So I'm just sort of aware that it feels very dark even though it isn't. These two brow products are actually really lovely. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I bought them in a kit before Christmas, like it was a P. Louise like special kit, and it had the eye primer, it had a couple of coloured bases, because she makes these really great like cream, I think they're called paints, in a bunch of colours, so it had a couple of those. And it had this brow kit, which I thought I'd give a go to, so I have. And I like it a lot. For done brows, you know, not for... This is probably more than I would just wear if I was like, I don't know, having a socially distanced walk or something, because they feel this feels heavy to me. I don't think it is really, but it feels heavy in terms of how it looks rather than the actual texture. Anyway. That's brows. I'm going to put a little teeny bit of shadow under my eyes and then do some bottom lash mascara, I think. And I'm just going to go with... See, it's a risky move, but I'm going to go with one of these pinks from this Natasha Denona palette, probably the metallic one, which is either going to make me look like I have a cohesive eye look on, or it's going to make me look like I've got some kind of allergies. So we'll see. It's possibly leaning towards allergies, but you won't be close enough to see, so it'll be fine. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. Yeah, that'll do. So what else am I going to talk about? It's really hard to come up with things to talk about when the reality is you don't go anywhere and you don't do anything. So I went out today, I got my eyes tested. I learned that I need glasses for computer work, which I've never needed before, so that was fun. You know, it's like I do that, and I sometimes go to Sainsbury's, exciting stuff. Maybe, just occasionally, I might get like a takeaway coffee as well, just for like, while I'm out, as I've got to get groceries anyway, then that's what I might do. But really, other than that, probably the most exciting and eventful thing I've done in the last few weeks is watch the entire of the first series of The Real Housewives of Dallas. which I love. I think I actually love Dallas better than Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills? Yeah. So historically, I'd watched Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is my one. I love Erica Jane. She's my fave. But I started to watch... I have no idea what that noise was. I've started to watch Dallas. And oh, it's good. It's good. It's like, I described it to my friend... See, Dave. I think I described it to my friend Dave, who I know watches this, as like going to the zoo, but the animals wear designer clothes. That's essentially the way I described it. Because that is really what it's like. Like, these women, somehow, they just go feral. It's like they're in a nice restaurant and everything's fine, and then all of a sudden somebody's smashing a wine glass and screaming in someone's face, and it's like, thank God, I've never had a meal like that, but it doesn't mean I won't watch other people. This is the Pat McGrath. This is the Blitz Chance lipstick in Skin Sane, which is pretty standard. Pinky sort of a colour. I'm not doing liner. These brows feel so dark. I'm just gonna whack a bit of this on. But yeah, so I have watched the whole first series and about 3... Oh, I've watched the first 2 series. I forgot that was last week. So I'm about to start series 3 and I'm excited. And it's just because I can't go anywhere and do anything at this point, I might as well watch someone else live their life in a fancy house with fancy shoes. So I've watched that, and I've been watching Drag Race. Anybody been watching season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race? Thoughts? Thoughts, if you can share them without any spoilers. I'm up to date as of today. So today is the 6th of February. I don't know when I'm going to upload this though. So episode 5 was this morning for us here. It's a weird season, man. It has been a really, really weird season because the way they introed everybody was really different than a typical season, which I assume is COVID related, and I understand. But it's just meant that it's felt really difficult to try and like warm to anyone. So at this point, I like Olivia Lux a lot. She seems really, really sweet. I like Rosé because I love the pink hair. I love the pink hair. I like Denali. Denali is like, she's my number 1 this season so far because of the lip sync against Kimora Hall from episode 3. Episode 3? Yeah, episode 3, I think. If that's on YouTube, I will link that. That is one of the best lip syncs I've ever seen. She was incredible. Like, it's second only to Monet Exchange and Dusty Ray Bottoms season 10 with Monet and the Death Drop fake out. Or Jump Split fake out. Second only to that, because that still to this day makes me laugh. But that Denali lip sync, oh my god, it was good. It was good. So I've been watching that. That's been a thing. But otherwise, I'm just kind of... I feel very like I'm plodding along. You know, I'm working from home. And that's nice. And it's nice to, you know, have co-workers to talk to and all of that stuff. But it all feels very like... You know, like that. We're just plodding. And I know it'll all, you know, we're plodding for the right reason, you know, and it'll all get better because that's how it works. But it's just that feeling of like, okay, well, I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to turn my laptop on and I'm going to work, and then, I'm going to stop working and have some dinner and then I'll go to bed. And I never thought I'd say this, but God, I miss the gym. Like, I'm not a big exerciser at all by any means, but my god, I miss the gym. Like, it's that stuff. It's the routine I think I miss. But anyway, my face is done. These brows still seem really dark, but I'm going to film another video now. So that is all for this one. I hope that this was in some way interesting. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing and what you're watching. Tell me what you're watching. Are there recommendations for things that I should also be watching? If you're watching Drag Race, leave me a comment. Let me know who your favourite is, because I would like to know. I'm curious. At the moment, Charlotte, my best friend, and I are sort of, we disagree just on almost everybody. She keeps going, I really like blah blah blah, and I'm like, ew, no. So it's the first season it's been like that, because generally we're like, yeah, this one, not this year. So it's a weird season, but I would love to know if you are watching. Leave me a comment, let me know. And that's all for now. So I hope you are taking care, staying safe, washing your hands, wearing your mask, all that jazz. And I will see you really soon in another video. Take care. Bye.